Hello learners, welcome to the session of the cell biology course. This is the course of BSc Honors Biochemistry program. Myself Dr. Arvind Kumar Shakya, Faculty of Biochemistry, School of Sciences, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Today I am going to talk about the cell organelles, structure and functions. After going through this session, you will be able to explain what is eukaryotic subcell organelles, describe structure and function of nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body and lysosomes. You can identify the cell organelles based on their shape and specific functions and illustrate the shape of cell organelles. Let us understand to what is the cell organelles. You know, cells are the basic unit of life. Cells are the structural and functional unit of living organisms. All cells makes the living organism. So, there are two types of cells, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. All cells share some common components. You see this slide that there are two types of cells, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Both cells have DNA as a genetic material, ribosomes, cytoplasm and plasma membrane. But their structured organization is different of the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. And prokaryotic cell is simple as compared to the eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell has a membrane bound organelles and true nucleus, but prokaryotic cell lacks a subcell organelles and there is no true nucleus in the prokaryotic cell. Now come to the eukaryotic cell structure. Eukaryotic cell structure is well characterized by the presence of the true nucleus and membrane bound organelles. The electron micrograph of the eukaryotic cell structures revealed the different types of the subcellular organelles. These subcellular organelles are vital for the functions of the cells and each organelle performs specific functions. These organelles suspended in the aqueous fluid of the cell is called the cytoplasm, and with the help of the electron microscope we can look into the cell structure. Now, what are the main components of the eukaryotic cell? You know, the eukaryotic cell is a complex cell which makes the complex living organism such as animal and plants. Human body consists of the many types of the cells and it has trillions of the cells. So, there are basic component of the eukaryotic cell is that a cell membrane. It is a outer covering layer that covers entire constituent of a cell, and second is the cytoplasm. Within the cell membrane there is a aqueous fluid, jelly like medium in which all cell organelles suspended in it, and third is the nucleus. It is a membrane bound organelle. It is houses of DNA that codes necessary for life, and fourth is the cell organelles. Eukaryotic cell has a membrane compartments. These membrane compartments called the subcellular organelles which perform a specific function within the cells. So, let us understand what are the structure and function of the subcellular organelles. You know, the eukaryotic cell size is about to 10 to 100 micrometer in diameter. So, these subcellular organelles are tiny in diameter. Now, you know, the plasma membrane is a outer covering layer. It is a boundary of the all living cells. So, plasma membrane is a bilayer membrane which consists mostly lipids and proteins. Lipids is the major composition of the cell membrane, and about the 70% of the cell membrane composition of is the lipid, and in addition to lipids there is a protein components which are embedded in the bilayer membrane of the plasma membrane. So, here you can see that the phospholipid, protein and carbohydrate and cholesterol, these are the common constituent of the plasma membrane, and the proteins embedded in the plasma membrane serve as a protein channel and other interaction to other molecules. You know, the phospholipid is a main component of the plasma membrane because it has a bilayer nature. So, they make the bilayer composition. It means there are two membrane bilayer formation of the plasma membrane. You know that the components of the plasma membrane is the phospholipid, cholesterol, integral proteins, peripheral proteins and carbohydrates component of glycoproteins and the glycolipids. The location of the phospholipid is the major component of the plasma membrane. Cholesterol is attached between the bilayer membrane of the plasma membrane, and the integral proteins is embedded within the phospholipid and serve a transport channel. So the protein channel act as a transport to movement of the molecules in and out of the cell, and peripheral proteins it can present at the inner or outer surface of the phospholipid bilayer and act as a receptor. And another component is the glycoproteins, glycolipids, which are attached to the protein component of the membranes and helps in the identification of the cell to other cells. Cell-cell interaction helps in the cell-cell recognition. And now the important organelle of the eukaryotic cell is the nucleus. Nucleus is the largest organelle of the eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell has a true nucleus. When we say it is a true nucleus, it means the nucleus is bounded by the nuclear membrane, and the true nucleus does not present in the prokaryotic cell or the prokaryotic organism such as bacteria. Means the bacteria does not have the true nucleus. Their DNA is occupied in the cytoplasm, which is called the nucleoid form. So here the eukaryotic cell contains the true nucleus. It is the control center of the cell, and the Robert Brown discovered the same nucleus, and the nucleus occupies the 10% volume of the cell, and the average size of the nucleus is about 5 to 25 micrometer in diameter. So you look at this slide, reveals that the nucleus is a membrane bound organelles. Within the nuclear envelope there is a DNA present as a chromatin form, and then inside the nucleus there is a nuclear body which is called the nucleolus. It is a round or oval shape structure which is responsible for the ribosomal synthesis, and the outer membrane of the nucleus is interacted with the membrane of the endoplasmic reticulum. So what are the main component of the nucleus? You can see here in the electron micrograph of the nucleus structure that the chromatin structure is present in the nucleoplasm of the nucleus, and the nucleolus is a rounded dark bodies of the nucleus, and it is all the things of the nucleus is covered by the nuclear membrane. So nuclear membrane separate the nucleus from the rest of the other organelle of the eukaryotic cell. Now let us understand what is the major structural component of the nuclear envelope. So you know the nuclear envelope is a two types of the nuclear membrane, inner membrane and the outer membrane. In between the outer inner membrane there is a space which is called the perinuclear space. Perinuclear space is a space between the outer membrane and the inner membrane of the nucleus, and both membranes continuous fuse and a specific areas which is form the protein channel. This protein channel called the nuclear pore. So there is a nuclear pore complex which helps to movement of the proteins or other molecules in and out of the nucleus. So the nuclear proteins can move to the cytoplasm, and cytoplasmic proteins can move into the nucleus. So there is it creates a barrier to movement of the selective molecules between in and out of the nucleus. So nuclear pore complex is a 8-fold symmetry of nucleoporins that arrange around a central channel with cytoplasmic ring and a nuclear ring. So its diameter of the nuclear pore complex is about 110 to 120 nanometer. And there is another protein framework which is made up of the lamina protein, which is called the nuclear lamina. Nuclear lamina is attached to the inner membrane of the nucleus. It provides the mechanical strength to the inner membrane of the nucleus, and it helps the DNA replication. So there is a protein network within the nucleus, which is called the nuclear lamina. So here you can see that the protein fibrous network is suspended in the nucleoplasm of the nucleus, and the nuclear lamina is a protein network which is also interacted to the DNA or the chromatin structure of the nucleus. Now, you know the DNA is present in the nucleus, and nucleus is harbors the DNA. It is a genetic material. So, the DNA is organized into form of the chromosome, or we can say that DNA is a basic unit of the chromosome, and DNA and proteins combine together and forms a nucleosomes and then chromatin, and finally the large structure of DNA is called the chromosome structures, and the chromatin structure can visualize in the metaphase of the cell division. So here you can see the DNA is a double helical structure, and it has the nucleotides. Adenine bind to the thymine by double hydrogen bonds, and guanine and cytosine binds through the triple hydrogen bonds. So these are the nitrogenous bases which forms the DNA double helical structures, and these are the nucleotides which has the deoxyribose sugar, nitrogenous base and the phosphate group. So the DNA is the main component of the nucleus which transfer the genetic information from one cell to another cell, or it transfer the inheritable genetic information from parents to daughter cells. Now, you know the nucleus is a control center of the cell, so it control all the activities of the cells. Basically, all the genetic information have the codes for the protein synthesis. So the DNA is the major information center of the cell, and the nucleolus is the nuclear bodies. It is a rounded shape of the structure of the nucleus. It is responsible for the synthesis of the ribosomal RNA and the ribosomal subunits, and DNA is a genetic material which is responsible for the storage of the genetic information and carries the genetic information to one cell to another cell through the cell division. And inside the nucleus there is a thick aqueous like medium which has the proteins responsible for the DNA replication. So this aqueous fluid is called the nucleoplasm, and another the nuclear envelope. Nuclear envelope encloses the genetic material, and it is responsible for the movement of the molecules between cytoplasm and the nucleoplasm of the nucleus. So this is the structure of the nucleus structure, and let us learn another important subcellular organelles. It is the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum, it is a network of the membranes which is present in three forms: cisternae, vesicle and the tubular forms. So it is a network, long network of the endoplasmic reticulum which is suspended in the cytoplasm. So there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. It is defined in the presence of the ribosome. So the endoplasmic reticulum has the ribosome attached surface which is called the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and those endoplasmic reticulum does not have the ribosome attached surface, they are called the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So there is a continuous sheet of the cisternae makes the endoplasmic reticulum, and the one end of the endoplasmic reticulum connects to the plasma membrane of the cell, and other end connects to the nuclear membrane of the nucleus. So here this slide shows the electron micrograph of the endoplasmic reticulum, which is the rough endoplasmic reticulum has the ribosome attached surface, and the tubular form of the endoplasmic reticulum has no ribosome, which is called the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. On the basis of these two forms of the endoplasmic reticulum perform specific functions. A smooth endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for the synthesis of the steroid hormone, synthesis of lipoproteins. They help in the drug detoxification because they have the important proteins called the cytochrome P450. which helps in the drug detoxification process. And the smooth endoplasmic reticulum stores the calcium ions. And another forms of the endoplasmic reticulum is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. We call the rough endoplasmic reticulum because their membrane is attached to the ribosomes, and it is rough endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for the synthesis of the soluble or secreted proteins and co-translational protein translocation and glycolation and trimming of the protein and protein folding and addition of GPI and membrane synthesis. So, this is the structure of endoplasmic reticulum, which connects the cell membrane and towards the nucleus. So, the endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for the protein synthesis with the help of the ribosomes. And another important organelle is the Golgi body. Golgi body is also a membrane bound organelle, and it is responsible for the protein sorting and packaging. The proteins comes from the nucleus is first goes on the ribosomes on the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum. So, Golgi body, here you can see the Golgi body is a stalk of the cisterna. It is a ribbon like structure, and it has a many compartments through which the protein is sorted and packages into the vesicles. So, Golgi body is about 2.5 to 1 micrometer in diameter, and it has a two phase, cis phase and the trans phase. Cis phase of the Golgi body connects to the rough endoplasmic reticulum surface, and the trans phase is towards the plasma membrane of the cell. And the Golgi body mainly responsible for the protein sorting and the packaging. It acts like the protein processing unit of the cell, or we can say it is a post office of the cell in which the proteins tagged and targeted the proteins molecules that are responsible for the transportation of the target site of the cell. The major function of the Golgi apparatus, it participates in protein sorting and packaging of protein into a separate vesicle, and material to be packaged in the form of vesicle comes from the ER fusing with the cis and trans form of the Golgi apparatus and transport toward the trans phase. So, the endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi body works in a coordination manner, step to step, to process the proteins, synthesize proteins and transport to their target site on the cell surface. And Golgi apparatus has the enzymes step by step to modify the proteins, removal and addition of the some molecules, and tag a particular type of the molecule so that the proteins can move easily on their target site. And it is also responsible for the glycoproteins and glycolipids formation, and Golgi apparatus is also required for the formation of cell plate and cell wall in the eukaryotic plant cell. Now, we understand what is the structure and function of the lysosomes. Lysosomes is a eukaryotic cell organelle. It is called the digestive cell organelle because it has a hydrolytic enzymes which degrade the proteins or the DNA. So, it is a organelle that called the digestive cell organelles. Then Christian Dudouis discovered the lysosomes as a small dense spherical vacuole within the eukaryotic cell. Lysosomes is a small type of bodies which are membrane enclosed and has the most of the hydrolytic enzymes, and these hydrolytic enzymes such as lipase, nuclease, protease, sulfatase and glycosidase active only in a acidic pH. So, the lysosomes in environment provides the acidic pH at which the most of the acidic hydrolytic enzymes activate to degrade different types of the food molecules and exogenous objects and remove the waste products from the cells. And there are three forms of the lysosomes based on their functions. First is the primary lysosomes, secondary lysosomes and the autophagic vacuoles and residual bodies. So, these are forms makes the different kind of functions when the cells engulf the foreign particles or the food material. It encloses by the membrane vesicle and it forms the phagosome. So the phagosome attached to the primary lysosomes and make a secondary lysosome. So secondary lysosome is an active form of the lysosomes which degrades most of the harmful molecules or the food molecules by the hydrolytic enzymes, and those digestive molecules are not degraded, they make a residual bodies also, and the digestive material is excreted out through the cell membrane by the exocytosis process, and the lysosomes makes a autophagic phagosome formation because it can also degrade of the cellular constituents to aid in cell renewal, and the old cell parts can also digest by the lysosomes, and the lysosomes digest most of the invaders pathogenic organism to protect of the cells from the harmful pathogenic microorganisms. So lysosome is a very important organelle of the eukaryotic cells to digest of the food material as well as the pathogenic microorganism. And another important organelle is the powerhouse of the cell. You know who provide the energy of the cell? The answer is the mitochondria. Mitochondria is also a membrane bound organelle similar to the nucleus, means it is a double membrane bound organelle, and it is called the semi-autonomous organelle because it has a DNA and ribosomes. So some proteins of mitochondria synthesized by own DNA in the ribosomes. So mitochondria is a thread-like structure, and it can be a filamentous like or the thread-like structure, and their shape is very because it can be rounded shape, filamentous or the thread-like structure. The Carl Benda in 1898 coined the term mitochondria. So here you can see the electron micro mitochondria. There are so many mitochondria is visible in the under the electron microscope, and the size of mitochondria is about 2 micrometer, which is similar to the size of the bacteria. So some hypotheses suggest that the mitochondria is originated from the bacteria. You know the structure of mitochondria, the components of mitochondria, the outer membrane, intermembrane space, and the inner membrane. Inner membrane of the mitochondria is enfolded and invaginate to form the cristae, and the cristae helps in the formation of the ATP synthesis, because inner membrane is rich in the protein electron transport chain, which is responsible for the generation of the energy, which is called the adenosine triphosphates. It is a double membrane, it means it has an outer membrane and the inner membrane. Outer membrane mitochondria, inner membrane mitochondria. In between there is a space which is called intermembrane space. So inside the mitochondrial membrane there is a matrix rich in the proteins and enzymes, and there is a small DNA present in the mitochondria and some amount of the ribosomes. So the ribosomes is of the 70S type of ribosomes, is similar to the prokaryotic organism. So this is the structure of the mitochondria, and the mitochondria is mainly responsible for the Krebs cycle, which is called the citric acid cycles, through which the energy rich molecules NADH, FADH2 is generated, and they goes to the electron transport chain. So the major enzyme distribution in mitochondria are the outer membrane has a specific enzymes such as monoamine oxidase, rotein insensitive NADH positive, cytochrome C reductase, fatty acid coenzyme ligase, and intermembrane space has enzymes like adenylate kinase, nucleoside diphosphate kinase, and inner membrane has the ATP synthase enzymes, succinate dehydrogenase enzymes, and the protein complex and channel. And matrix is a site of the TCA cycle. It is a major site of the beta oxidation. Pyruvate dehydrogenase complex is present in the matrix. So these are the enzymes which are present in different site of the mitochondrial structure. You know the electron transport chain is mainly responsible for the formation of the adenosine triphosphate chemical energy molecule. So the energy carrying molecules such as NAD positive, FADH2 goes to the protein complex. These protein complex are of 4 types. First is the NADH dehydrogenase, succinate dehydrogenase second, and third is the ubiquinone cytochrome C oxidoreductase, and fourth is the cytochrome oxidase. So these are the protein complex which are responsible for the carrier for the electron carrier through which the protein gradient is generated between the matrix and the intermembrane space, and through which the returning of the proton through the ATP synthase proton pump, it creates the proton gradient, and the ATP plus Pi forms the adenosine triphosphate. So this is the process of the ATP formation, which is called the oxidative phosphorylation. That's why the mitochondria called the powerhouse of the cells, because it generates the energy in the form of the adenosine triphosphate. It is the only organelle which provides the energy for all cellular activities of the cells. Now I conclude that the nucleus is a storehouse of the genetic material, mitochondria is the energy house of the cell, endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for the protein synthesis as well as the hormone synthesis, and ribosome is also attached in the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and some ribosomes are freely soluble in the cytoplasm of the cells, and eukaryotic cell has 80s ribosomes, and lysosomes is a digestive organelle which digests of the food material as well as the breakdown of the pathogenic microorganism. So the lysosome is deactivate of the microorganism through the endocytosis process and the exocytosis process. And the Golgi body is a protein sorting and packaging organelle which helps in the protein transportation. And so the endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi body work in together. So there is a continuous transport communication network from the nucleus to endoplasmic reticulum and towards the Golgi body. So I hope you will be understood the basic structure and function of the subcellular organelles. So these are the some suggested books, reference books you can study to further knowledge of the cell structure and the functions. Thank you.